Yeah, you're good. And I'm Jupiter from Manlius, New York. Thank you, Karen Brown, for that awesome intro music. I'm still totally stoked about it. It's like the second or third time I've got to use it. It will be on our art streams as well. But I can't get enough of that Brobnar beat. It sounds so perfect. It is so great, and it is amazing. But welcome back to the Keyforge Premier League, and welcome as we get to bring to you another matchup from Group B today. We're going to watch Julie July versus JusticeBlinded, which is a match that I didn't record myself, so I don't actually know what's going on with it, other than that they played, and I do know the result, but I'm not going to tell you what that was. But what we're going to do is we're going to look at the deck, and I'm going to try to use some better tactics with my Twitch or with my stream here to see how well they go. But the idea here is first I need to make sure that the game is ready to go because this little intro music kind of took a spot from it. But I know it's I know that basically the two decks that we're about to get into are pretty cool. So let's get in. Let's show some of that. Why don't we? So the first deck that we have is being played by JusticeBlinded. This is Governor Jove. This is an old school deck. Like this is a deck he's had for quite a long time. And if you look at the burst potential that is in the Untamed suite, it's pretty nuts. It can pretty much go off like in a combo sense. And like just end the game because of the ability to play the Chota Hazari and be able to Nature's Call it and kind of rotate it through and do good things. You also have like the D set is not horrible. It's good for like making sure you can set up that big play off the Untamed, and then you have like lots of like library access tools in the library access portion of it where there's a lot of pips and a lot of things to help limit the board state. So with that said, the luxurious playstyle, I can't say the words. The luxurious playstyle keys to victory for JB, in my opinion, are the burst, to be able to get to that burst, to basically be in the right position to strike when that occurs, like when it comes up, and basically to use he only has one big board wipe, and that's the gateway to Dees. So I think he's going to have to be able to use that board wipe very effectively and to be able to remove the board state like cleanly and thoroughly. And I think if he can do that, JB could win this game pretty easily. His deck is very good. So with that said, we will take a peek at Julie's decks. Julie's deck is the Pendragon, the Magistrate of Giants. This is a deck that she has piloted before. It just does a lot of really good things on a very consistent basis. The red alerts, I think, are going to be really crucial here to making sure that Eric doesn't have too big of a board state at any given time and basically keep control of the game. And then the amber rush potential for her has to be on point because if it's not, she's just going to lose because she doesn't have a lot of control with her, like amber control. So this is going to be kind of like a knockdown, drag out fight. But let's look at Julie's keys to victory. Her keys to victory are board control, making sure that she keeps the board nice. She needs to find a way to avoid the burst that comes from his Untamed house. And I think the third key and the most important one is not to be dictated to. And what I mean by that is I don't think that she can allow for Eric to set the pace and get ahead and basically make her react to him. I think she has to be the person that's reacting and making him react to her to win. So those are my luxurious play styles keys to victory. These are the beautiful keys that they make, that Maddie makes and stuff. This is off of their website. I did ask him if I could use them, but he hasn't got back to me, so I'm just using them because it's free promotion for him. And these keys are just absolutely amazing. And I have a set of my own, and I cannot begin to tell you how happy I was with that purchase, especially with like the negative space that comes at the very top there. You see those two like triangular, like rounded off triangular spaces. Those are negative spaces, so you can see through like, and it really just pulls it all together, and all the line work and stuff is just absolutely brilliant. So that's my pitch for Maddie, and thanking him because we do have a tournament coming up soon that is important to everyone as far as the next big thing that we're doing, and the next big thing that we're coming up with, and that is on November 7th. It is a mass mutation only 2-deck survival tournament, $10 entry fee. All the information is available to you on our website, and basically you can just get over there and do that. I am now going to do get this game up. I had it downloaded earlier, and now I'm having trouble finding it. It's weird. Weird, weird, weird. All right, downloads. Downloads. Let me see that. It's got to be in there, right? There it is. All right. So there's my download. Let me get this paused, and we'll get right into this match. If you're out there hanging out and stuff, just say hi, give me a what's up, and we will move forward. I see Joe, I see Titan, I see Carl hanging out, and then I'm pretty sure Lurks is a bot, but either way, we're gonna get into some pretty awesome gameplay here, I think, and we'll see what happens. Let's see how my keys to victory pan out. And we will get to the monitor now. There we go. So far, looking smooth. So again, Muffins did record this for us, and I'm not playing music because I'm going to try to fill the time myself with this as we go, because I think this game will be very interesting. So let's get kind of to it. Hands are closed, which is kind of a bummer, but that's okay. I can understand, but they should be open, but either way. All right, so we start off the game. You see Julie setting the tempo already early with being able to play her Kirby, and then kind of like doing some maintenance by getting rid of a card and just getting an Amber Pip on the table. So she's already pushing forward and starting her rush, while Eric counters with a Mother, and the Mother basically comes into play and allows him to draw an extra card and basically push the game forward, and like basically start to build towards his untamed hand that he's trying to build towards, because obviously his deck is trying to pull off that combo and like get to the combo aspect of it. So here we see the Rustnar, and the Rustnar comes into play. She's not going to really see a lot of work, but she continues to just add value to, it looks like right now she's trying to shape her hand and like into something more valuable, and she's kind of had a rough start, so to say, by not being able to draw into more efficient cards early on. She's drawing more into like the late game type cards that would have been better later, like the Song of Nature or the Cauldron's Boil. And there is no stream delay today, folks, because this is live-ish, because it was recorded yesterday. So I do see you out there. You can join the discussion as we see a life ward come down, and JB plays a poltergeist to gain an amber. Or no, he just discards the poltergeist. I wonder why he discarded it. He could have played that first and then got an amber off of it at least, and got like the amber value off of it. But instead he chose to just discard it. Maybe it was an oversight. Maybe I missed something there. I don't know. But either way, moving forward. I think both of these people are basically trying to rush, so it's not a matter of like it's not a matter of control here. Like Eric's deck has more control, it has more amber control, and it has more burst potential than Julie's deck. But Julie plays a very like even keel, like her deck is very like consistent, like and it's going to be right in that middle range like the whole time. So that leaves her a subject, like her deck is more subject to a consistent showing, and but Eric's bursty like ability, like the deck, his deck has like that bursty ability that could just go off at any time. He could win like out of nowhere. So because we can't see how he's building his hand, we don't know like what is in his hand. So it'll be interesting. Interesting to watch. So we see her starting to finally get some momentum here with the getting her Star Alliance on the board and stuff. And those early pips kind of helped her push along. So she's up to 5 amber early, which is a good sign for her. That's something she's going to need. Eric has pushed into logos. So he's looking for maybe not his library access. So kind of a smaller turn. He's using the life ward at this point to kind of try to slow her down from playing too many creatures. So she responds by going Shorian and bringing in a Golden Spiral to play. And then she uses Failing Strike to clear the board up, get rid of some of that card advantage the mother has already drawn, like a couple extra cards. So it's a good solid line for pretty much an off turn to where she cannot play creatures. I don't know. I wonder if she saw that. She had to have seen it, right? Yeah. There's a Calafigian Ideal to give her just a little bit of extra amber. She passes, so strong plays on Julie's part. She's looking like she's growing some confidence in her plays. I like it. I I got to listen to her play Siaka first round, and they were going back and forth, and she was always like defensive of her plays and stuff. But today it looks like she's just going all out. We're seeing the evolution of Julie. She's already an incredibly crazy good player. If you haven't listened to our podcast, and we've already talked and stuff, she knows exactly what she's doing. She's been coached up really well by those witches down there in Baltimore. So, uh, and I mean that as that's the name of their team, not as in she's a witch, but they've done a good job with her. And they said that basically she's snatched the pebble from their hand already a couple times. So she's really fun to watch and to talk to. She's very pleasant. She'll be on Blake's show sometime this week as well. So I highly encourage you to tune into Boulevard Paper Fight and listen to that podcast when it comes out, or that VOD or whatever he does with her. It's going to be fantastic. Julie is just a class act. She's very fun to talk to. And we see the Ludo come down to kind of help protect the amber that she's about to start generating off of these other Saurians. But at the same time, she is at 1 key, so she's got there. She's like neck and neck with Eric. The problem here is that her burst potential is not as big as Eric's burst potential, so there could be issues. But Eric is not overly controlling the board at this point, so if he continues to let her go with the Saurians can do work and get her enough amber to push this game into a state of victory. If I was playing this game, I think I would rather be piloting Eric's deck, but um, we'll see how it turns out. So we now have her going into Star Alliance. She plays that red alert. There's that board control. She's keeping it strong, showing that strong arm, tabletop royale style, right? Double muscle. I'm over here flexing like you guys can see me, but you can't. All right, there you go. She pushes up to 2 amber, and she does some maintenance on the board, gets rid of the board, and she resets. Now we'll see where JB goes with that. So So here comes that. Is this that going to be that big bursty untamed turn? Ooh, Chota early. Ooh, that's not good for JB. But it looks like he had a lot of clutter in his hand that he had to clear out to get more drawing. He still has the Nature's Call for that kind of play later, but man, he kind of got clunky on his hand there with the cooperative hunting and the way of the bear. Hmm. He had to make space. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes your deck doesn't pull the way you want it to pull. But Julie doing well would do well to put some pressure on here. Here comes the Odak, the Ludo, the Centurion. I would have probably killed the Chota here if I was her. Only because I do believe that Eric has. He does not have a oh, he does have a regrowth. Okay, so maybe killing it doesn't matter as much. But I guess what matters here is, do you fear the regrowth or the Nature's Call? So it's a coin flip. But either way, not mad at the play, not killing it and actually pushing her amber count. She does kill the Hunting Witch, which is good. I think the Hunting Witch is definitely the bigger of the two problems. And Eric's Chota is just imposing because of the different ways that he can use it. But if he doesn't have the backup for it, it doesn't really matter. So Julie gets to her second key first. So her strategy is working out well right now. She does have Livia the Elder in play, which is a interesting Saurian card. So Muffin's showing us the discard piles. So she still has one red alert left too. So that's interesting. There's still some play to be had here. But I think she needs to still keep kind of crunking out and getting that amber rush going. So this will be interesting. Is she going to use the golden spiral to kind of clear the board with the pterodactyl? Doesn't seem like a horrible play. The camouflage with the ward on the Ludo just makes that so good. So hard to kill now. I don't think Eric has any answers to that because he would have to be able to poke it with, like, I guess he could poke it with a disc creature and then use the gateway. But the problem with that is like she can, if she get these creatures off the board, he can't do that, right? Like so, I think I'm definitely killing that Master of Two somehow this turn if I'm her, because if you don't, you probably get stuck with the that pop and then the gateway clearing off all the things. The good thing for that is that she still would keep those 3 amber away from him, but you don't want to lose that kind of board state. There she goes. She just continues to do her thing as she reaps with the Livia the Elder. Okay, JusticeBlinded has conceded as he feels he cannot keep up, and he is saying low rolling is real. I agree. Is his hand was a bit small, a bit shallow, like didn't come out the way that he wanted it to. It was definitely not well organized. All right, so let's get into game 2 and see how this one rolls. So that's interesting. All right, so game 2, Julie has the stronger deck. I think she has the stronger deck, but we'll see how it plays out. So Justice actually comes out pretty strong with a Kirby into a Light of the Archons and a Fran. So that's about as much juice as you could hope for. And then the Mother was a good first turn for Julie, so we'll see who goes where. So she's basically plays the bat drone and passes. Oh, she had the twin bolt too, so she did play that. She's trying to pump her amber, get it up. So here comes the Ludo and the Pterodactyl and the Ideal. Like Eric is off to a good start. Like it's moving pretty good. There's the Phalanx Strike for value on the mother. Slow down her card count. And Julie will reply with as we wait. Archimedes' logo is really cool, isn't it? It's so simple and so awesome at the same time. Who doesn't love Archimedes? I like the metal one from the Clash of Titans, the original. It was the best. That's what this one reminds me of. But this one's like the sleeker, more 2020 version. So there goes my first mic cutout for the day. I'm gonna have to turn on this. Oops, sorry about that. What am I doing? I'm killing the stream. There we go. Spotify was messing with me right there. Alright, so we're going to turn the volume all the way down on Spotify because we don't really want to hear it. But we are going to leave it on just a tad because it leaves my headphones on. So, and we'll make sure that it is on the Bass Rebels page to where if it is heard, I don't get like copyright claimed or something and you guys lose the video because that would stink. So it's not even registering on the desktop, so that's perfect on the recording system, so we should be fine. And hopefully my headset will stop turning off. Alright, so we're into turn 4. And Julie is at 1 key already into Amber. So she's doing what Eric wanted to do last game. Like she's putting on the Amber pressure early and first. That's exactly where she wants to be with that deck, and she's playing it well. We'll see if she can figure out how to get that burst that is needed to win with that deck too, though. As we wait for Julie as she thinks out what she's doing. She's already committed to Dees and played a couple of these cards, but she was thinking about the Arise and what she wanted back with the Arise. Interesting. What did she take back? I'd have to think that it was Untamed stuff. Oh no, it had to be logo stuff, right? It's way too early. It had to be logo-y. Like the mother and all that stuff. That's what I'm thinking. Guess we'll know right now. Fully expect her to go into the house that is what she arised for. Eric did get the Philosophosaurus. Is the first time we've seen that card, and that card is absolutely awesome. One of my favorite Saurian cards. It does like lots of good things for what it is. And it's like a little bit bigger than the normal like 3 what is on most utility creatures, so it makes it even better, which I'm like a big fan of that play. So there's the Fogify play. So Julie is like really pushing forward with her keys here. Like she's really pushing her amber and making this look like it could become a short game. Because she should know her deck has no amber control, so there's not really a reason to hold back here. Like, just go for the throat, which I would be fully okay with. So JV comes back and he gets the Comm Officer Kirby. Gets the Lay of the Land. Great card for helping set up and sculpt your hand in your turn. And then he plays Helmsman Spheres, which is another fantastic card in Scattered Alliance. You see him regrowth the Officer Fran to add some value back to the pterodactyl, whatever it is. So, will Julie push here is the question. I think that's the right play. She's ahead of key. I think this is where you stay super aggressive and you just try to get as much amber per turn as you can get. Like, there's only so much that the other deck, that her deck can take back, and she should know that. It being her deck, she knows how to beat it. Now she's going back to Dees, which is kind of unfortunate. I don't think she has as much amber generation in Dees as she would like. She opted to go after the Ludo, to kill the Ludo, because she's looking to hopefully kill the ambers and get those ambers back. Because she has the one gateway to Dees, but I guess she hasn't drawn it. But right now, gateway would be super. Super. She did play the Ember Imp, which is a pretty big play. It's Ember Imp is one of the best tempo disturbers in the game. Even if they have to go into, like, you make them go to a house, they have to fight and kill it. They have to take that time and resource to get rid of it. Because if they don't, they're just stuck in their turn. And then, like, if you get it at the right time, it like just stops them completely. If they have nothing on the board that can answer it. Ember Imp with Control of the Weak is a very sweet combo for disrupting your opponent's tempo and turn. All right, we're getting a big hand switch. Comes Kirby. What's Kirby going to pull off? He exiles the pterodactyl to the other side of the board. Pretty sweet. That's 2 amber over there now. If she uses Gateway, he gets that amber back and helps to make push towards the key. So it makes sense to do that as a strong exile. Right, Julie plays Fogify. We are waiting patiently on Justice to make a play. Taking his time, making sure he doesn't mess up too bad. Like, there's a lot of things going on right now. So we'll see how it goes. Let's see who's in the chat while we wait. Oh, I see Nathan. Hey, welcome, Nathan. Mr. Corey Than, the innovator of the Decks of Keyforge website that everybody loves and partakes in. I still have Titan here with us. A couple other people jumped out. Bloodluster, I don't know if that's a bot or not, probably. Commander Root, definitely a bot. But either way, thank you people for watching and tuning in, even if you're not talking in chat so much. Yeah, there you are. That's cool. I like it when people hang out. It gives me something to do and talk about. This game was really interesting. Like so far, it's been great. Like when you look on paper, I think JB's deck is just like I would be always pick JB's deck, and like his deck is really struggling against this Saurian output. But Julie seems to be piloting a little bit better. But now it's kind of starting to turn around. You see JB kind of getting it into swing. What were the SAS scores on these decks? I forgot. Let me look. 71 for Pendragon and 73. See, even your SAS says that Jove is just better than Julie's. So, speaking to Nathan in chat. So there we had a pretty good swingy turn. Got up to 10 amber, so he gets to almost make a key. He's like back to kind of even now. Like Julie was ahead, but now she's the deck is starting to slow down, and they're starting to get some. Not sure Governor Jove is the best example of a well-rated deck. Fair. I think it actually hits the right scope at 73 because it's very like average, right? 73 is a pretty average number. And I think that it definitely has its weak spots, and they're very abundant, and there's not a lot of amber control, so like you can't really go that high in SAS with that, right? Like if you're looking for an all-rounded deck, but it's a discussion, right? I don't hate your SAS, you know that. I'm very big on your arc. Your meta thing has me intrigued. I'm still trying to figure that out. So so there we see Julie come back, and she basically goes Ancient Bearing on the board. Eats some Kirby because Kirby's taste good for bears. You see the regrowth, and the regrowth she basically brings back the Ancient Bear, puts him back in play so he can go back and try to find more to feed on. And then you see the Murmook. All right, so now we see JB, and he is going to make a play because he's technically even. Like they're both like kind of even, but to be fair, the way that JB's deck can burst is scary. Yeah. Yeah, the meta thing is cool. Like it's neat. I saw a meta 3 finally, and I was very confused. There's like a fifth thing that got added to it, I think, or something. Like the meta score of 3 was made me go, "Oh, this must be a great deck," but I wasn't impressed with the deck it was on, so I was like, "Eh, I get it, but I don't get it." So but as I've always said about DOK, it's a starting point for decks. You still have to play the decks to figure them out. Scaling Amber Control a few days ago. Why don't you tell us what scaling Amber Control means since you're here? I'm curious to your definition of what you mean by scaling Amber Control. I'm assuming I know what it means, but let's get the definition. He sends us a link. We'll have to check that out afterwards. We'll probably have a little bit of time. If you aren't a patron of Corey Thans, I highly suggest you do it. It's a really good way to trade and sell decks as well. Like my deck's a Keyforge shop. I finally went in and full blown set it up with all the prices and everything is priced, and like the ones that I plan to keep, I have up as will listen to offers, but obviously like my highest price I go on my shop is $50. So like it would have to be way more than $50 for you to get one of the ones that are make an offer on. But people don't get that like the logic there. Like they still make me offers of $25 on like 91 SAS decks, and I'm just like, yeah, okay, thanks. But I'm always open to trades, and I'm always open to sales. So, and if you buy a bunch, I would definitely discount a little bit, but my prices are as low as I can make them, I think, for most stuff. Obviously, for the bulk stuff, the more you buy, the cheaper it would be. Because we really like to move the bulk, and that helps support the league, and it helps support getting more product. So that way, there's more things for you to look at. Nathan has done a fabulous job with decks of Keyforge. Thank you very much for that, sir. It's almost as important as TCO. Almost. TCO pretty much is the heartbeat of all things good for Keyforge right now. Without TCO, this game just like goes into cardiac arrest and never comes back. All right, so we see Julie and Justice like duking it out right here, and I don't think that like Julie can bring back the 6 amber that Eric is at. I don't think she has a way to do it, especially in Untamed. So I think Eric actually is going to pull this game out. Yep, there it is. So we're going to go to game 3. Let's see what happens. Very close. They're having a discussion about the deck owner bids first at 0. That's correct. So what happened here is since Julie's deck has won both games, they have to bid on Julie's deck. And since Julie is the owner, she bids 0. That's the automatic rule. And Eric just passed because he believes that his deck is better than Julie's too, even though it's lost both games. So I guess here we get to see what happens, but we haven't seen a library access turn yet. We haven't seen like any real big like engine from Eric's deck either, and this shows how it's kind of like we said, it has like a high point and it has a low point. If he doesn't hit his high points, like it's a very much a high roll deck. Like if he doesn't hit those high rolls, like I think that he might just lose here and be done because Julie's deck has shown the consistency that I was talking about at the beginning. So right now she's hitting her points, and Eric is struggling a little bit. No, I'm not gonna lie. I know how this game turns out already, so I'm trying not to give it away, but still be fair in my commentary. Yeah, her deck is very fast, and he bid no chains because he just thinks that his deck is better. So I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe his confidence in his deck is going to be the downfall. Maybe he actually turns it around and just smokes her, like gets a good run and gets to do the double Chota Hazri, triple, double Chota Hazri, triple Chota Hazri type trick. Don't know. Can't tell you. Well, I do know, but I'm not going to tell you. I don't think she would have bid on her deck. I think they both feel like they like the speed of Eric's deck, but I don't know. I still think it would have been worth some chains though. Like I don't think 0 is ever right when you have a 2-0 deck. Oof, I wish I had that start because Julie just smoked out of the gate, and like I don't think Eric is going to come back from that. The ideal is on, the Kirby is protected, the medic is protected. Like this could get really ugly really quickly. But back to the chain bidding. Chain bidding is like the absolute mental like gymnastics of Keyforge. Like it's the best of Keyforge on both sides because you're basically trying to toy with your opponent and figuring out how far you could bend the straw without breaking it. So I need more practice of it with it myself, but I kind of have my guidelines to how I do my thing, but I would like to put into more work into it and like test it more. Part of it is just practicing with your deck and knowing how many chains your deck can win with too. That's the key point is learning how to figure out how many chains is enough to slow my deck down against my worst matchup. That's like a huge deal. I guess not even your worst matchup, but your closest matchup, right? Because you have ones that you're going to be amazing against, and you have ones that you're going to be bad against. But the bad ones means you shouldn't be bidding on your deck if you're losing to those, right? So there's a key from Eric. So he kind of trying to pull back into this with the Chota Hazari, but not as big of a play as that he'd want. There's the Nature's Call, and he's pushing back out. The Chota Hazari for key number 2. So we've seen the regrowth. Have we seen the regrowth yet? I don't remember. No. So if we haven't seen the regrowth yet, that means that there's still a chance that he can run. He has to get super lucky from here on out. He's already saying that he had no chance from her opening draw. So it sounds like he's in desperation mode. But yet he just double keyed on a turn and still has. Well, I guess the problem for him is he doesn't have a bursty amber play if he doesn't have a bunch of untamed to put down or other creatures in a different house. So he's at least 2 turns behind her. But he shouldn't be telling her that because now that she is that might have made her more prone to just going fine. I'm gonna reap out and just put like a lot more pressure on the game, which she should be doing anyway. Like she needs to get out ahead here and get her amber down. But tonight, if you guys are available, tonight at around 9 o'clock Eastern time, I will be streaming a top matchup in round 1 between Z and Rodion, who are both 2 and 0 by virtue of going 2 and 0 against both of their opponents. So it's like two juggernauts at this point going at it in Group A, which I deemed the group of death in the beginning. So that'll be really fun to tune into and watch. And if you're watching this on a VOD, it is going to be tonight, which is on the October 15th. So if you catch us in time, you'll be able to maybe catch us tonight. But that game should be amazing, and I'm doing that as a live stream recording. So I won't be able to talk with the chat, but I think the watch will be worth it, and it's going to be a great game. I'm very curious to see which decks they play. And if you don't know, you can go to the website and you can look at all 3 of their decks by looking up their player profile under the players section at crazykillingmachine.co.uk. There's a pull down menu for us. Just go to the player profiles and you can see all 3 of their decks and try to see which one you would choose to be part of it. But who knows? All right, so Julie's at 5. An awkward number. But JB has to make a play here. He needs to have a big turn where he can put himself in check if he can, and that would maybe give him the win. If he can't, I think he might be over. It might be done. But we can't see his hand, so we don't know if he even has a chance here. The tension builds. The drama awaits. Let's see who we got. Community Showcase. I don't know. It sounds like a bot. Joe's back. Zoke. Still here, hanging out. Corey Than, thank you again. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the stream. You like the new layout. Like the Archimedes thing is totally muffins, so I don't know. That won't be here unless she's recording the games, but that's okay. We'll tank for a moment here. So he's tanking right now. Does that mean he's admitting that he's losing? I don't know. That's usually a sign you have your opponent on the ropes if they're thinking about something for too long. So we'll just move this forward a little bit, see what happens. Oh, he did have, bring it back a little bit. So he did have something going to go on here. So he plays the Chota, or he reaps with the Chota Hazari, he reaps with the Ancient Bear, he regrowths, he puts himself to 5, so he's like 1 amber short. He does play the Murmuk though. Plays regrowth, Hunting Witch, plays Hunting Witch, Murmuk, Hunting Witch, yeah. So he made as much amber as he could. He came up 1 short, I think, though, with that line. He needed his full moon there more than ever. There's the reap. Needs 1 more. Because I don't believe he has anything to really take back amber at this point, does he? Does Joe have anything? I guess Effervescence Principle could come in handy. So I guess that would be the out for him. There's a Fran. Pulls back some amber. So we see Julie contemplating. She still has a lot of amber to gain right here. She just pushes. Like there's not really too much he can do, and like the more she has, the better. Because if he does have Effervescence Principle, she's still in a spot to catch back up. So there's no real like harm in pushing her amber at this point. Because he's gonna have to reset himself to 2, which still means he can get to 6 with the creatures on the board. So that's kind of scary. But you do have the Officer Fran. If he doesn't kill it, and if he's gonna kill that, he has to basically commit a creature to it. So that's 1 less amber. And then there's enough on her side to push ahead a little bit. 'Cause she only needs to be at 7 to win. And if she kills the Murmuk, then bonus there. Oh, uses the Kirby to deal 2 damage to the Hunting Witch with the Blaster. There's the Reap Protect Fran, because the Fran is the key here, right? Like she's the most important piece on the table right now. She does go to 9, which is a pretty good amount of amber. Like without the Effervescence Principle, this game's over, I think. Like 0 chance over. Interesting. She used the unnatural selection to kill the Murmuk and like ended up having to pop off her ward, and she chose to get it off of Fran. That's an interesting line. Like, I think I would have wanted to protect the Fran more than the spears, in my opinion. But we'll see where it leads. And quite honestly, having a ward on the spears is is not really that big a deal because if he wanted to kill the spears, if he felt it was a threat, the bear just eats the ward and then eats the spears. So, but isn't spears? I don't even remember. Is spears elusive? I don't think so. Fran was the only out. I wouldn't be able to tell you. You still have a turn, so make something happen. He plays the Hunting Witch, reaps the Chota, reaps the bear. No, key charge. He's one. Oh, because he was one off because of the Fran. But what happened to that amber that the Fran took? It went back to him, right? Yeah, Fran came into play. He got that amber back, right? Yeah, he got that amber back. So Fran really didn't have an impact there. I'm not sure why he says the Fran. Unless it kept him off of doing it like the other turn, maybe. I don't know. Interesting that he thinks that. I'd like to pick his brain on that one. He's been taking all match long. Funny. Anyway, so that was that, and that was the end of the game. And Julie wins 2-1 with quote unquote the lesser good deck, which goes to show you got to play the game. Keyforge is a game, and we do have to play it. And by playing that game, we have ourselves a lot of fun because Keyforge is fantastic. Uh, you go back to Corey's link. I want to see that. All right, so here's the link that Corey sent us about meta. This doesn't give me anything. Scaling amber control. Trait. Trait. Where's the definition, Corey? You lied to me. Where might it be? Maybe underneath the... About. It's probably under the about, right? Cards that have the date. Okay. That's lame. Scaling amber control. Scaling amber control. Scaling amber control. Scaling amber control. Aren't these all like really different versions of scaling amber control though? Like Shatterstorm does a lot more different of amber control than interdimensional graph. Like way more like situational, way less situational. I don't know. Sure. I get it, I guess, but like these two are like night and day scaling amber controls. But I'm guessing that's what this is, like the ruling 2, rating 2, weak effect. So like you have different levels of amber control. Yeah, no worries, Joe. Thanks for popping in and listening. But I'm just basically shooting the breeze. I gotta go get Harlan here in a little bit anyway. So further fundamentals, arc, ratings and values, useless control, destroys effects. Hopefully, I'm not sharing secrets that are hidden behind Patreon walls. Hmm. Anyway, I need to read through this anyway. I'm kind of curious. I've never actually read this document. but now I have it to read, and I will. Uh, but with that said, boo, Fifth Planet Keyforge, rock on, let's do it, yeah. Crazy Killing Machine Network, that's us. This is us. We're here every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and we'll be going over league games or doing something. Every once in a while, maybe I'll have I'll just play and stuff. There it was. Like I figured I missed it, but it's all good. I'll find it. I have to read. I want to read through that whole document anyway. As a what would I say? A vested interest in the whole program of DOK and the way you grade things. But again, I always still play the decks and try to figure it out because I found that decks that are in the 70s are pretty good. Like 75, 76, 77 can be just as good as some of those bigger decks. But the bigger decks tend to be like the higher the DOK, like the SAS score, the more consistent I feel like my quality decks are. So I don't know. I've always been a fan of Arc for sure, but and SAS I guess. I'm not a hater. I'm a realist though, and I think that if you just like let Corey do all your work for you and you're lazy and don't put in your own efforts, like you will never find the best decks for you. Because that takes your play style, the way you think, and everything else. Like each of these decks breathes its own life and has its own way of doing things. So it's very important to figure out what it is about Keyforge that's good for you and how you play it. So with that said, I'm Jupiter from Manlius. I'm gonna go pick up the crazy. That's why it's nice and quiet today because he's not here. But he loves school. He's been having fun with it, so that's great too. But if you guys haven't noticed my new shrine back here, look at this. Boom! Ha ha ha! The cool the boxes. I got my Archimedes card, my Manchester Mavericks, and my Bastion Gaming card from England. I got in one of the trades that I made over there, so I'm super excited about that. I still have my dragons that were made for me by one of my friends, both in Jedi. My Dominator Bauble, of course, that's my world's invite. I had to keep that. My Shadows guy that's just lurking over everything because I think it was funny. And it was bent, so it was pretty useless at this point. So yep. So that's my background for right now. There's all kinds of things behind me, as you guys know. I have a crazy a thing about decorating all my walls with cool stuff that I love. There's my boys. That's Tristan and Braden, by the way. My Red Sox, etc. My Patriots over there. My Sensies with Darth Vader and the Millennium Falcon. Bunch of stuff. I still have the crazy wall from before. Like if you were ever an old school G, like that's like the original wall I had up with all my batarangs and stuff. Yep. So that's my house. Welcome to it. This is how we do things here. I just put things all over the wall and they deal with it. So that said, I'm out. Take it easy. It was fun hanging out with you guys, and I hope you enjoyed it. See you tomorrow.